want you to come from here. Yep. Okay, we got it fixed. Okay, we're going to try this again. Ready? Don't swear because now you are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to AnthSOLOgy. So, since you missed it when I said it the first time, let's try this again. Hi, I'm Dr. Jessica HEBERT of the PDX Broadsides, and welcome to AnthSOLOgy. And if you've never attended an AnthSOLOgy before, here's the deal. What happens when you belong to a band and suddenly, thanks to COVID-19, you don't really have a band anymore because you can't play together in the same space? What happens if you're a solo performer but you can't play gigs out right now because, we're trying to keep each other safe and social distancing doesn't allow for that? Well, sometimes you go and play on the internet, and sometimes you go and play on the internet with your friends. So I would like to invite our 3 solo performers today to introduce themselves. We've got 2 fabulous people from the East Coast and one from circa Portland, Oregon, where I'm sitting right now. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Chris Waffle.
How's it going, everybody? Great to be here. Dr. Jessica was correct. I am Chris Waffle, and very near Portland, Oregon. It's a sweltering day here, and so I'm in my romper and with the guns out, ready to rock and roll. You probably don't know me from my nerd rock band Megathruster. Been doing that up here in the old PNW for a few years. Before that, I was down in LA doing a thing with my brother called Hot Waffles. And right now, I'm just waiting for Oregon to get to phase 1 of some kind of reopening so we can go outside and rock again if everyone's safe.
Rocking outside again would be amazing. Also, hashtag romper life. You rock the rompers.
This one's beer pong themed. A little patriotic.
Oh, it is.
I love it. Romper season is upon us.
It is.
If you have favorite rompers that you think that Chris should buy, please go ahead and link them in the chat comments because we'd love to see
Please. Them. But they have to be like a terry cloth material because my body shape cannot pull off one that is if you see one and it looks real slim fitting around the waist area, just go right on by because I can't pull that off like some of the people in the catalogs.
The terry cloth,
I'll just be honest,
sounds super comfortable too, like wearing a beach towel all the time.
Exactly.
Yes. So coming to us from the East Coast, part of the Good Graces, an amazing group that has toured with the Indigo Girls and many others. This is Kim Ware.
Hey. Yeah, I'm Kim Ware. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but originally I'm from North Carolina. That's where I am right now, hanging out with my mom in a super small town called Kings Mountain. And the sun's going to set while we're doing this, I think, maybe. So that's why the lighting's a little bit funky. But I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. And the magic of the internet means well, you're not at home right now. You're not in Atlanta, but we still get to hear your beautiful songs today from a different state.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. And last but certainly not least, 20 years in the business, a nerdy indie pop legend from Orlando, Florida, MARC with a C.
Hi. If you're not familiar with me, first, you should know I'm very, very thrilled that Dr. Jessica allowed me to appear here on a show I can't pronounce the title of. I've been trying for basically since it came up, but I just can't do it. But on the average day, I could be considered an interactive singer, songwriter, and storyteller. And mostly I make up songs and put them on things so you can play them. And past that, I sometimes host shows like a discography. And if you go way back, geez, you might remember me as a one-time manager of the nerdy online radio station, Nerdy FM.
Yeah.
I've done a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't know how much of that matters today. I would like to turn it back to the host because Dr. Jessica's the brilliant mind that brought us all together What are you going to do with us?
Wouldn't you like to know? So the joy of AnthSOLogy is things are you're going to play 2 songs. We'll see what we get time for. And in a random sort of order. So again, we're going to go over to the chat box. In the chat box, somebody list a number between 1 and 6, and that's where we're going to start today. 1 and 6. Who's gonna get to go? It's gonna be amazing. I meant to grab a D6 and roll it to start the show, but I didn't. So we have to leave it to the audience choice again, and it takes them a second to hear that and pick a number. Sometimes they get really stuck on like the number has to be important. The number has a lot of import to it. There's a tiny bit of echoes on all voices except for Dr. J, but her volume could be a little out. I can just talk louder. Trust me, my bandmates have said that no one has ever asked to turn up the volume on my microphone. Ever. In fact, one time they asked to turn it down, and it was off, so that'll happen. The first number in through the chat is 2. Okay, who's going first? It's going to be Kim Ware. Kim, you get to start off our show. All performers, if you would please mute yourselves while Kim is going. And Kim, if you would introduce your song and give us a little tune.
Sure thing. This was on the album I released last fall. It's a song I wrote about crushing on somebody. But then when all this COVID stuff happened, it kind of took on a new meaning of sorts. It's called Sit on Your Hands. Just sit on your hands if that's what it takes not to touch me. I'll cover my lips, 'cause that makes it harder to kiss your mouth. Take out my brain. Maybe that way I'll stop thinking things that I'm thinking about. Then put on your coat, 'cause I think it's gonna get cold, dear. I won't sit too close, don't wanna pretend I can keep you warm. Take out my heart, these feelings, they just don't belong here. They'll only stir up the storm. And I know this is wrong, dear, but it's so hard to be strong here. And I wrote this song 'cause I can't say it's not going away. Here's the solo. Cover your ears, you don't wanna hear what I'm saying. And I'll close my eyes, I don't wanna see how you look at me. If I don't go to sleep, maybe I'll finally stop dreaming things I know will never be. And I know this is wrong, dear, but it's so hard to be strong here. I know this is wrong, dear, but it's so hard to be strong here. I know this is wrong, dear, but it's so hard to be strong here. And I wrote this song 'cause I can't say it's not going away. I fall deeper each day. Just sit on your hands. 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 Just sit on your hands if that's what it takes not to touch me. That's all.
Yay! Thank you so much. So, is that a newer song or is that a song from a recent album? Sorry, asking you while you're drinking water.
No, that's okay. It was released on the album that came out last fall called Prose and Consciousness. However, it's a little older actually. So I know Jessica through theme music. That was a theme music Secret Santa fake song title that was gifted to me by Zoenda McIntosh several years ago. And I tried to release it on my previous album called Set Your Sights, but I wasn't digging the recording of it. So yeah, it's sort of old, but it just came out last fall.
That's amazing. Zoenda is great. She'll be on in a couple of weeks. We're excited to have her.
Wonderful.
And she has also done some crazy Secret Santa songs. Like I had given her a title one year called "The Germans Have a Word for Everything Except This Feeling," and she made a gorgeous song out of it. It's super funny. So like I love that theme music has brought like great weird people together and also like inspired really lovely songs like that. Thank you so much.
Oh, for sure. Thank you.
I'd like to remind everybody in the chat box that you can type !who at any point to remember people's names, and Kim, Waffle, Mark with a C, or Dr. Jess will tell you more about today's guests and where you can get more music from them. You can also tip. The tip link is in the description for the episode, and all your tips go to the performers today. You can also like and subscribe to the PDX Broadsides YouTube to learn more about upcoming AnthSOLogy episodes. So Kim, you just did the first song, broke this podcast wide open, and I know you've just met these other two gentlemen, if they can so be called. I want you to pick who follows you.
All right, so I haven't had dinner and I want waffles. So I think I'll go with waffle, please.
All right, Mr. Christopher Waffle, do you have a song prepared for us? Maybe.
I do. I think I'll go with. Something. Oh, I'm going to take my sunglasses off for this because it's going to get real touching right now.
Oh, we're getting into our feels.
This has been a hard time for me because I only know how to play bass and I never learned any other instrument. I was in high school. I was like, what's the easiest thing I can learn but still rock the stage? And my friend told me to pick up the bass. So I'm limited when we're in a pandemic situation on what I can do. So I've been trying to expand my sites, but this one, it's old for me. It's probably new for you. This is something. Oh wait, hold on.
That's why we're all here, though. We are a little more limited than we would have expected, but we're here to make music together. So whatever you make, we are here for you, Mr. Waffle, and it's gonna rock.
Oh, can you hear that? Okay.
Yes.
All right, here we go. This is the song is simply called Bass.
Hey Chris, hold on just a second. Try sitting a little bit closer to your mic because it keeps cutting out, and sometimes the will do that if it thinks that you're not close enough.
How about now?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Give it a try.
Or I can move my amp closer.
Oh, it might be if the sound is coming from the amp. That's probably what it is.
Let's try this.
Okay.
Is it cutting out here?
Yeah. It's still cutting out. How how try turning the amp down and then moving it as close to your camera source as you can.
Sometimes life is hard. Being a bass player, you wanna rock, but they say it just don't count. And at the end of the day, all you're left with is 4 strings and an empty bank account. You don't get money when you play the bass. Some girls will come backstage and run to the guitarist, the lead singer and the drummer if they're alright. If you're lucky, the shy one will say, I guess I'll take the bass player. He looks like the nice older brother type. You don't get girls when you play the bass. There's some exceptions, like Gene Simmons from Kiss in the 70s. Breathing fire, spitting blood, and wearing a cloak. He has that long tongue, and he has a lot of money. Well, my tongue is short, and I'm always broke. You don't get girls when your tongue is short. You don't get money when you play the bass. No one likes a song played just on bass. You don't get money when you play the bass.
Yay! Your bass cut out quite a bit. I think the deal is you need to move the, like when you were singing, it was picking up the amp in between when it can't hear the bass all the way, the camera can't hear the bass all the way, it will it cuts out the sound entirely.
Well,
so
let's just throw this in the trash.
No.
No,
No, we could hear all of the lyrics and we could hear the
That's really what's important. My playing is not necessary. It's probably better that it was cut out.
No. God.
I won't use it. I'm just teasing. I'm actually not using it for the next thing, so
Chris
we're all
Waffle
good.
is the kind of guy when you ask for a bio, he sends something that says, "It's Chris Waffle," and that's it.
I'm going to put these on to hide my shame.
Oh my God. Chris,
But hold on, you can do that? I'm sorry to interrupt, but that work. I've been wasting time. Teach me your ways, Sir Waffle.
It's called being bad at self-promotion.
Your bass playing rocks, as anybody can hear from your albums. Megathruster albums are available if you type !Chris, and you can also find them on. You're on Spotify, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And other places, though.
Yep.
Seriously,
I've got 8 cents from them once.
One purchase from Bandcamp is like more than any of us have ever made from Spotify.
It's true. It's true.
So, but you've played bass for a number of other folks, including us. You played bass on
Yes.
on our last album, and it was so good. What else are you doing right now during these hellscape pandemic times to keep yourself?
I love the collaborations. Yeah, you know, right before everything started getting shut down, Megathruster was coming back with brand new material. And we had an EP lined up, but because of the shutdown, everything's kind of frozen and unfinished. So that's kind of a bummer. So in the meantime, I've been trying to, I've been doing nerd rock for a long time. I decided to expand my horizons into the world of hip hop. because I love the nerdcore scene. I love hip hop. I'm a horrible rapper, but I thought I'd give it a try anyway, just for fun. And so I've got some new hip hop songs under my solo banner called the Chris Waffle Explosion. And so I released one song, and I've got a couple more on the way. One of them's going to be a collaboration with Steve from Death Star up in the Seattle. A big shout out to all my nerdcore friends up in Seattle, Shubzilla, Death Star, Bill Beats, who's supplying me the beats, Keelan King here in Portland. Anyway, I figure, like, what can I do by myself? So I'm just trying to rap. It sounds like a terrible idea when I say it out loud.
It seems perfectly reasonable. And your wife is working on a music project right now too.
She was. We started doing all this stuff, and then we bought a hot tub, and that's taken a lot of our. We're just sitting in the hot tub, not doing anything. So I got to get out of the hot tub now. It's hot outside, and get back to creativity.
Creating.
Yes.
All right. So Mark, I think it's your turn. Are we ready?
Oh.
Yeah. So we.
I thought I have to get out of the hot tub.
Don't I get to I almost did this from the hot tub, but I was afraid my base would get wet.
Oh.
Don't I get to choose the next person?
Would you like to choose?
I choose Mark.
Good. Great. I'm glad.
Cool.
So, Mark.
I don't even know how to react to what just happened.
Me neither. It's like, why have a host of a show when you've got Chris Waffle?
Well, I'm going to play a song that also asks a question or two. This is probably, if you are familiar with what I do, this is not the song that you anticipated I would show up to play today. But since you've been asking everybody, hey, what's the deal with that song? Let me just go ahead and tell up front. And then we can talk about other things. Once the song's done, we can just move on. Think about other avenues, futures, lozenges, if you will. This song initially came out on a record that, as we can't swear here, I will say that the record initially rhymed with "This world is scary as nunchucks," and this song, it got a bit of a makeover because a lot of the things that were in the song initially, well, they changed over years because, I mean, the song first came out, I think, 2005. So now, there is a new, updated version on my, 20-year anniversary box set. Maybe it'll be good. The Best of MARC with a C, and it's a live rendition. And this one is even a little different from the one there because I'm yoking one part out today. Those who have followed me for years will know exactly what's not here. And in the meantime, why am I playing the tune? Well, one, I like it, and two, because I usually introduce every show with a song that introduces me to the audience. Songs like Unicorns Get More Bacon, I'm in love with everyone I know, We're All Gonna Die. Well, for obvious reasons, I'm not playing the latter right now. And the other two, too many swear words. Can't edit it, couldn't remember what I would substitute the words with. So instead, this is probably the most mellow, hi, my name is Mark type song I've got. I'm gonna take off the headphones and try to play it for you now. This tune is called Music Geek. It's basically the entirety of my life up to we started this show today. There was this kid who used to beat me up, a pudgy kid, his name was Chuck. Well, once he had some M&Ms and I asked if we could share them. Instead he kicked me off of my big wheel. I skinned my knee as he rode off the boat. And then when I was walking home, a bee stung me on my head. I stopped playing outside that week. Instead, I listened to my Walkman incessantly, and that's the reason I'm a music geek. It rarely steals anything from me. Now back in 6th grade, I always dreaded lunch, 'cause I could never find a place to sit and munch. But there was this kid named Bo, and finally Bo let me with him. But then he interrogated me. He found out I had a crush on Tara Weatherby. He told Tara, she told the entire school, and they just pointed and laughed at Mark with a C. So I stopped trying to make friends that week. Instead, I listened to my Walkman incessantly, and that's the reason I'm a music geek. It rarely points and laughs at me. Who needs real friends when you can obsess over bands? Who needs human contact when you can hear people sing about it? But now I'm in my 40s. Sometimes people like to hear me sing, and I've still got social phobias, and I promise I'm working to get past them. But maybe if I went out and did some online shows, or got a record deal, or made more videos, no, on second thoughts I'll just stay inside with my wife and sing songs for her. She's in love with me. She puts up with my eccentricities. She's in love with the music. That's right, she likes me for me.
Yay!
Hooray!
It worked fine during sound check.
Nice.
I had a little bit of skipping.
Oh no.
So Sunday Comes Afterwards, who is fabulous and will hopefully be on in a few weeks, is saying that Discord is weird. So if you go into the voice and video settings on your main Discord page and turn off everything under voice processing, we might have a little bit more luck. I think some of the strumming was happening so fast that it was picking it up as background noise, because sometimes our audio processors are not as smart as we are. But we got like 90% of it. It just skipped a little bit in between. So that might be what our problem is. I don't know. The internet is weird and not made for solo performers who are learning how to make music together. But Mark, thank you so much. And I love that you talked about, like, you know what, I'm just going to stay in and make music for the people who get it and the people who love me, and also for myself. So you have said, like, you stay home, like you wouldn't, if it wasn't for the fact that every now and again you have to like go to the grocery store, life would not really change for you all that much.
Well, it's funny that you mention that, because this is the year that it was going to change. I've steadfastly refused to tour, and this year, well, hey, I made it to 20, so I thought, hey, maybe I'll go see all those people who pick up my records, and thank you for picking up my records, or even giving what I do a chance. And I was super excited to do it, go and play in new towns, smell strange backstages. I mean, we never get, at my level, a backstage, but let's pretend. When I say that, I mean the hotel bathroom usually. And I was going to get to smell so many new hotel bathrooms, and now I'd be scared to sniff. This is a terrible analogy. But yeah, on the average, I'm inside just kind of creating or working on either like the podcast, discography, or just playing records. And I might not have noticed other than less traffic.
Less traffic.
You got me pegged.
Yeah.
What you see, if you've ever seen me do anything, that is the extent of my extroversion. That's it. Past that, I'm totally good just staying quiet and not intruding on anybody's good time.
Like on a scale of introversion to extroversion, 1 to 10, where 10 is a Chrissy Teigen, Mark with a C is the 1.
Somewhere in the negatives.
Just digging past that number to find as much introversion as possible. And that's okay. I mean, that we all deal with life in different ways. And I mean, I'm also an introvert who masquerades as an extrovert. So
That's a really cool way to put it.
yeah.
Can I steal that?
Yeah. Yeah, just
Right.
you have to give me credit at the bottom, like just hold a little placard up every time you say it.
That I'm sorry to correct you on your own show, but that's not what stealing is.
I've never been very good at stealing unless it's in the context of piracy, so I don't know. I'd like to thank Stevani, who says this space intentionally left blank. And thank you for tipping us. And feel free to continue to tip here on the second half of the show and like and subscribe to this channel. Oh, and thank you, Teresa, very much. It is a great show. And the bonus, when you tip or you subscribe, a little widget comes down in the top right-hand corner and makes a happy little noise, which is kind of great. I
heard the noise.
Yeah.
It did make me happy. I didn't even know what it was.
That is the sound of somebody tipping or subscribing to.
I'm even more
right now.
happy.
Yeah, right? It's the best sound ever. So, Mark,
Hi there.
since Chris has started this, insisted on this now for this particular broadcast, would you like to hear Kim or Chris next? Who should go next for song number 2?
I'm good with just keeping the same order we had because I like tradition and whatnot. So I feel bad not picking Chris, even though he picked me out of a list of 1.
Oh, spoken, but spoken like a nerd.
It's
who's
okay.
Like, you
It's
picked
all
me,
right.
So I'll pick you for
No.
dodgeball.
No personal offense taken.
I want to hear both at the same time.
No.
Is that an option?
No, God, please.
Like a duet.
Our
I
sound.
said sharks.
Our sound options are already, unfortunately, as maxed out as they're going to get today. Thanks, Internet.
But I'm going to choose Kim. Before the show began, I complimented Kim on her voice despite having never heard a note until she just played here, and I really liked her first song. I really loved the lyrics to your bass song, Chris, but it can only be one, so Kim, I pass the baton.
All right.
I choose Kim too. She was fantastic.
I'm glad that our vote is unanimous. Or it's like America's Got Talent. I'm not going to reveal my vote because the majority have already spoken. Kim, tell us a little bit about what you're going to play and give us some joy.
I hope to. I don't know how to adjust my settings on the web version of Discord, so hopefully the sound is all right enough for internet. But I thought I'd play. This one's pretty new. I was really sick for the entire month of February almost, and during that time period, I did write some songs, and to me they seem a little different from most of my other may have been COVID sickness period. But anyway, this is one of them. This is kind of a song for the underdogs, and it's called what's it called? Oh, The Deep Part. Here it goes. I am making myself happy for the first time in years. I've been pleasing the wrong people. They've been feeding my fears. You threw me in the deep part of the pool, but I learned to swim, and now you feel like a fool. It's a struggle to stay true to the things that make me me, but I'm learning the value of authenticity. You threw me in the pool, but I learned to swim, and now you feel like a fool. Well, I don't mind you calling me in the middle of the night, you see, just give me my turn. When I'm fishing for sympathy, drop me a line, don't let me be alone. Gosh darn, I am making my own choices. It's taking so long. No more second guessing, not afraid to be wrong. You threw me in the deep part of the pool, but I learned to swim, and now you feel like a fool. You threw me in the deep part of the pool, but I learned to swim, and now you feel like a fool. Don't you feel like a fool? Yeah, you feel like, gosh darn fool.
Yay!
Thanks.
Like a gosh darn fool. Is that the original lyric?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I was hoping so because it is so cute when you say it. Gosh darn.
Oh. Thanks. So yeah, I think I figured out when it's green, the sound is coming through, right? So whenever I wasn't green, it wasn't happening.
But we didn't have any skips on you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so it was good. The sound was beautiful. And
Oh, cool.
yeah, and yeah, the happy little sound is a thank you to Andrew, aka Rush Boingo. And he says, thank you for putting on this show, everyone. I came in as a fan of Mark, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to learn about Kim and Chris. Sending love from Canada. So thank you, Canada.
That's nice.
Okay.
I love Canada.
Looking out for us, our maple syrup brethren.
Yes.
I don't know. I love Canada. I'm very sad because the Broadsides were supposed to do 2 cons in Canada, Philcontario and KeyCon, which is coming up next weekend. But both were able to do online content. And Kim, you have a lot of experience with online content. You do like living room concerts and streaming them virtually.
Yeah, and I started a Facebook group on March 13th. And it was right around when a lot of people in Atlanta started staying home. I started a Facebook group with a friend called Kimono My House. And the idea was we would have like some Atlanta musicians join us and just do Facebook Live. And over that weekend, we got like a few hundred members, which was pretty cool. And now we have over 6,000 from all over the world. So I'm playing on that from time to time, but really more than anything, I'm doing admin stuff for the group. Because as you can imagine, that's a lot of people to all of a sudden have in a group that you didn't think anybody was going to pay attention to. So, but it's great.
Kimono My House.
Yeah.
And you host other people doing live streams from their living room on that as well?
Yeah. Yep.
That's really cool. So everybody, if you're making music, you can go
Yeah.
to Kimono My House if you want to do a
For
big
sure.
concert. That's awesome. Thank you for doing
May-
that.
Yeah.
May I please
Yeah.
ask, Kim, was that intentionally a tribute to the band Sparks?
I assume so. So a good friend of ours named David Mampowski, he came up with that name. My friend Andy, she started the group and she was like, does anybody know, give me a name, an idea for a name, whatever. A lot of people threw stuff out and he threw out Kimono My House and it stuck.
What you set out sounds so cool, and I'm like, how could this be cooler? And then you throw a reference to Sparks as the title, and
Yeah, I know, and I can't take credit for that. That it is a really cool, it's super cool. I can't take credit for the name, even though my name is part of the name.
Kim, oh, all around, like there's so many layers of puns there. It's like a pun parfait, and I'm here for it. It's good.
Me too. Awesome.
Kim, would you like to keep the traditional order? Would you like to go to Chris, or would you like to go with Mark with a C?
I still haven't had dinner and I still want waffles, so I think I still want to go with Chris.
Oh, you East Coasters, I'm sorry for interrupting your dinner time. I hope that we are providing some awesome dinner music for you folks. Chris Waffle.
Yes.
With and without syrup. I understand that you have a second song for us, and it does not involve bass.
I do, yes. Rather than sing to a boring bass line, I am going to attempt to rap my new song. I had a lot of trouble just getting into this Discord thing, as you remember, Dr. Jessica, just moments ago. But I did go into my settings and turn off all that stuff as suggested. So I'm hoping this works. We'll see what happens. Now this song, I'm gonna cue up the music here. You know, it came to me right as the pandemic, right as COVID-19 started really skyrocketing and hit American shores. Everything started, travel. I had trips planned. We had all these things. We were working on stuff. Everything just got canceled and crushed. I mean, we were all in the same boat, right? And I was really having a hard time just being bummed out about everything and being depressed, worried about people, my loved ones, and just people in the world. And I was looking for something to pull me out of this depression, so at least I could just continue on for the sake of my family. And suddenly, out of the blue, dropped something into my life that it really helped me, and I think it helped America. Well, I'll just let the song speak for itself. Let me know if you can hear this.
I'm feeling the first thing is.
Alright, we're gonna get grooving here.
I'm not changing the way I dress. I refuse to wear a suit. I've had some kinky sex. I've tried drugs.
It happened on a sunny day. The one I love had come my way. Let me take you back and set the scene. The governor said,
You gotta quarantine. Stay home, Chris. You don't want to get this virus.
you know what I mean. 3 days later, I'm broke, no joke. And to make matters worse, I'm out of Jack and Coke. I take 2 edibles and sit down at the end of my wits. Log on and shell, yo, what you got, Netflix? And to my surprise, up on the screen, it says, we think you'd like a show we call The Tiger King. It's got everything, a weird dude with a sketchy ass zoo, and a drummer with a sex cult too, and this lady who killed her husband, I guess, but her cat's cleaned up that mess. All these garbage people, man, it's just not right. But I knew it was love at first sight. Sing, it happened on a sunny day. The one I love had come my way.
Everyone's on that.
It happened on a sunny day. The one I love had come my way.
All right, here we go.
Fringe jackets.
Let me tell you about a man kind of chaotic, full of narcotics. It's the Tiger King, Joe Exotic. He's erotic, so sound the alarm. He won't even care if a tiger rips off your arm. Oklahoma is where he calls home, the perfect place to keep the tigers in the zone. Wanna take a picture with a tiger cub? Well, join the club and thank the good Lord up above. And did I mention he's a master of country music? There's not a skill Joe has where he doesn't use it. So much talent, it feels like he was heaven sent. He's making pizza, then he's running to be president. So get out the vote, come on, up and at him. He'll seduce you with his pets, but he shouldn't have them. And if you're your husband, well, you better watch out. He's got guns, a mullet, and a really big mouth. brought America together during a time of crisis, y'all. It happened on a sunny day. The one I love had come my way.
Yeah, right. Boom.
And that's my song for 2020, based on the best TV show of the year, never to be topped. Shout out to Bill Beats supplying the music. My next song's gonna be about having to stay in the house, and then I'm gonna have another one about being in the hot tub. The end. Thank you.
It was a good thing I was muted the whole time because I have heard you do the song before. I loved the YouTube video for it, and I still over here just freaking howling. It's so good. Chris, that's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Look, I don't want anyone to think that I actually think the man Joe Exotic is cool. Everyone on that show is crazy and just, I don't know. Like, I have no... But the show, I really enjoyed. And so I decided, look, if I'm going to make some music this year, let me make something that's going to be timeless, that will never get old, that will be just a classic forever.
You know, maybe, but I love, my favorite line is, he's got pets, but he shouldn't have them. You know, yeah, it might be a classic forever. That show is just such a roller coaster too. They start with this extreme, like, he hired an assassin, and then they take 8 episodes to get there, and it's because they need 8 episodes to tell you about all the other crazy that is happening. Man, Kim, Mark, have you seen Tiger King?
I could not. I tried. I couldn't.
Oh man,
I'm surprised Mark doesn't have to watch it because Orlando's like full of these tiger places. He can live it anytime he wants.
And gators.
Yeah, it's kind of just yesterday's loaf to me. Like, I don't have to throw a rock very far to see something weird. I mean, I don't even have to leave the house for it.
Well, 2 of us live in Portland. We understand weird, but usually it doesn't involve tigers. I think at least once a year it involves some guy dressed like a pirate stabbing something on the street, and I get a lot of messages. Do you know that guy? Usually I don't, but
Carol Baskin is in Florida, isn't she? I think that's where her home base is.
Big Cat Rescue, I think, is like
Yes.
hour and 45 minutes away from me. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But I've not seen the show, and I have no feelings on it, positive or negative.
Chris, when
Probably for the best.
Chris, when COVID-19 simmers down a little bit, I feel like there needs to
Yes.
be a Broadsides Megathruster tour. We'll go play with Mark down in Florida and visit Carol Baskin. What do you think?
I love all that except for visiting Carol Baskin.
What if we just like wave? As we drive
Yeah, we
past?
can drive by. Sounds good.
We don't want to get caught in a meat grinder. It's fine. Chris, thank you, and that was super good. I heard Sarah, in your wife, in the background doing some
Yes.
of those ad libs. Sweet.
She's a good
layers.
sport.
And Bill Beats did a great job. Gorgeous. Even if it's about the Tiger King.
See, even when I'm solo, I still need a lot of help.
Christian Lipsky, my bandmate from the Broadsides, is over in the comment box yelling, "Yes, tour!" So good. Hey, Mark, we're going to come visit you. Set up your guest room. We're coming.
I didn't sign up for this yet.
Guest room. Tented backyard. We is coming.
You assume I'm not in the guest room.
Oh, fair. We'll all do a live stream together from your secretive guest room. It will be super fun. We have had a lot of fun today on AnthSOLOgy, and I want you to remind you that you can type !who, and then it'll tell you where to find the music from these fabulous people, and you should go and get all of their albums. because they are great, and I am a big fan of all of them. I'm glad that they were here today. And if you also want to, the tip link is open, and your tips go to the performers today. And as they can't perform out, they sure do appreciate it. Ready for our last song? Mark, you're on deck. Remember to sit a little bit closer to the mics, because I think that is what worked for us during rehearsal.
It's right here.
Good.
I'm touching it.
Okay. Like, just lick it.
You said the show had to be PG. There are about 1 billion songs I would have played if I knew that this was going to go this way. But instead, this song has a lot of stories behind it, but ultimately it's on my favorite record I ever made, and it's also on the best of, but it's also a really important component of the new film that I put out, the Obscurity show. The people that have watched it have told me they enjoyed it, so I hope that's review enough. But the whole story behind this tune, I don't think I can cram it into 4 minutes. I think I should just let the song speak for itself. I wrote it to make myself feel better, and now I give it to all of you, and I hope that it instills a little bit of hope, and also that the audio goes well. We all ready? All right. This is called One of These Are Gonna Be Your Day. You won't reach out your skin. Pictures have gotta go. Things can't always be so dang it's tough to say it's so cliche. That goes, hey. Can you this like it up once and throw it away? But one of these are gonna be your day. So sure. Leaves and then a slow decay. You can search and fail and display. Oh, it's tough to say. It sounds so cliche, like a thing that goes, hey. No more let the forget. Still head on the turning away. One of these gonna be your day. Now, most of what we know is temporary. Usually, you sleeps and the bat dwindles away. You can try that you don't get, or you can be your own Daniel Faraday. Oh, it's tough to say since it sounds so cliche, like that goes, hey. If you're in a world it won't be a special case. These are gonna be today. I took all the suggestions, I turned everything off, but I did see the green going away and stuff, so I hope you heard that.
We heard like 90% of it. There's a little bit of flickering, and I don't know what's going on with the sound today, but I do appreciate all of your patience with it, and to our audience who's been super awesome and hanging in here. We will it's always kind of a thing of magic. The last couple weeks it's been fine, and now who knows, maybe people are catching on to the awesome of this particular setup, and now they all want in on it. So that is from your brand new documentary?
It's not a documentary. It's kind of a bizarre concert film. It's part concert, part TED Talk. It's kind of my story. It's kind of all of our story. And maybe it'll be good. Yeah, that's about what I can tell you with it. I don't want to oversell it because ultimately, you spend a lot of time just looking at me in sort of a white void. And, but past that, the song's not just in the film. It was that was the infamous tune that the music video got on the Grammy ballot, and it was a thing. That was Tim Labonte and Madison Durant's video. And it's also on my very favorite studio record I ever made called Obscurity, which looks like this sometimes. And it's actually part of a trilogy called the Obscurity Trilogy, and you can get that from Needle Juice Records. It's one of the old Fat Boy double cassettes. It's really cool. And it sounds really good for a tape, too. Like, normally I'm a total vinyl hound, and this is my favorite mastering of
Is on cassette tape.
It's weird, right? But the folks at Needle Juice did me up right. I was floored, and I still think they secretly did something to it and won't tell me.
I think sometimes, like, you have to hear the format does make a difference, and so maybe it's that cassette tape hissing, especially since your music bridges analog and digital worlds. Like, that cassette tape is sort of the analog with the really clean sound. Like, I can see where that would add something to the overall experience.
I can't answer for it. I just know that when I press play, it sounds so punchy and immediate, and I like it. I didn't mean to turn this into, hey, go buy stuff, but it's actually so punchy that I don't, at least unless we're between songs, I don't hear any hiss at all. It's just right there and in your face. It's a really cool sound.
That's really neat.
I love it.
I don't see a lot of cassette tapes out there anymore, except in the Filk world. When you go to Filk conventions, they're still doing cassette tapes. They like CDs and hard copies of things. But selling yourself is not a problem, because that's part of why we're here on AnthSOLogy. We want you to be able to share your music and what you're doing. So where can we find all of your music and your movie and everything, the Obscurity Trilogy, your dozens and dozens of albums and EPs? Tell the people where they can find you, Mark.
The easiest and best place to go is just markwithac.com, which is a GUI for my Bandcamp site. You can order or download pretty much everything I've ever done from there. Or if you really want to see the Obscurity show, but you don't want a physical thing, I don't blame you. That's totally cool. You can stream it on Amazon Prime right now. And you can buy it if you want and watch it on the go. And there's a lot of salty language. And maybe it's time for your kids to learn those words. I think there is. Like, there's a pretty disturbing word that I use quite often. And I'm going to break the rule. Discman. So, and then if you want to further give me money, but you have ran out of things to buy, you can always go to my Patreon, which is linked at the top of markwithac.com. And if you really don't want any physical stuff and you don't want to even look at me, then just play me on Spotify and look in another direction. I've been saving up for a sandwich. So that Patreon money, that's one thing, but the Spotify money, I'm specifically putting it in an account, and we're going to celebrate the Spotify sandwich when all that money is accrued in roughly 2043.
Yeah, man, it's so great. Thank you so much for sharing your music, and I'm really excited. Like, I didn't know that it was on Amazon Prime. I know what I'm doing this evening. I'm gonna go check it out.
Cool. I hope you like it.
I am sure that I will. And we may do an AnthSOLogy After Dark that will allow us to get all sweary with it in the future. Yeah, so stay tuned.
I will be in the hot tub for that one.
If COVID is over, then maybe I will have to come
for it. These are my pajamas.
Yes.
I'm already
Yeah, there you go.
Let's just keep going.
If COVID,
You and Royal can come over when this is all done, Dr. Jess, and we'll hang out.
we'll stream the dirty one from your hot tub.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a hot tub too. It's just yours is newer and needs.
It's brand new.
It needs to have a nerd music soup made.
Yeah, I don't think there's not enough chlorine for that.
I don't know. Chris, would you tell the nice people where they can find your music on the internet?
Oh, here, I'll look the folks in the eyes here.
Sincerity is important.
Yeah, so, go to, you could just Google Megathruster. That's my main jam. and our first two albums there, and a few other Halloween and holiday songs. And when this all went down, I went in and just made all the albums for free. And I forgot to change it back. So you just go there and take it and enjoy during this time. Someday, Megathruster's new stuff will come out, and maybe you can buy it if you like it. Otherwise, just go to Bandcamp and just download everything and just enjoy it. It's fun. If you like the Tiger King song, you can just look up Chris Waffle on Bandcamp, and my solo stuff is there. And I'll be putting out probably some more terrible rap songs that are just goofy and silly over the next couple of months, or until the apocalypse is over. I don't know.
The apocalypse is inside us. It has always been inside us. We didn't start the fire. But, thank you so much for being here. And Kim, where can we find your music, and tell the people again about your live streaming Facebook group?
Oh, sure. So I perform under the name The Good Graces. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's a duo, and sometimes it's a full band situation. I've been doing that since, 2007 or so. So I've put out a good number of releases there on Bandcamp, Spotify, all the streaming sites basically. So I like Bandcamp the best. So if you want to go there, yeah. And the streaming site is Come On to My House on Facebook. And it's a super fun time. There's a show starting. It started 7 minutes ago tonight. We usually have somebody performing every day and or night, usually more than just one person. And it's a great group of people. So yeah, join us.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you for doing what you do to help spread music joy to everyone while we're all sort of in this stuck situation. It's really great.
For sure. Same to you.
I love getting to chat with some of my favorite folks and hear the music that you're making. Next week on episode 4 of AnthSOLogy, it's a very special edition because we're celebrating. Because we've made 4 whole we're celebrating because of 3 things that are happening that are very important in the lives of next week's guests. One of them is a graduation. She's graduating with her bachelor's in sociology from Arizona State. It's my bandmate, Holly-Anna McCollum, is going to have a bachelor's, and we're so excited. So she's going to be performing from her house. She's never done a solo thing before. We're going to try it out. His birthday is coming up the end of the month, and he's working on his very first, it's not his very first, but his very latest solo project. He's my bandmate, Christian Lipsky. And last but not least, it's her birthday, and it's also KeyCon weekend, and we didn't get to go. So I'm also going to be doing solo. It's an all Broadsides episode 4. So we haven't done something like that, and we're.
I love all those folks.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. An all Broadsides episode 4. In episode 5, we've got fabulous people too. Oh yeah, the This Machine Kills Gatekeeper stickers, which are available.
Love it.
pdxbroadsides.com. Thank you so much. If you're watching this and we're not actively streaming, the tip link is open all week. Any tips that come in this week go directly to the performers, and they sure do appreciate it, and so do I. So on behalf of Mark with a C, Chris Waffle, Kim Ware, and myself, Dr. Jessica Hebert, thank you for tuning in to AnthSOLogy. We have had a good time today, and we hope to have a good time with you again next week, 4 p.m. Saturday. Take care. Bye, everybody.